Short video on Python import statements. You don't get to see me in this video, which that's unfortunate. What you're looking at is a Python shell in a Jupyter Lab, which is a Python development environment. And import statements are used to bring a library of pre-written functions into your, actually any kind of Python information, into your program for use. So I'm going to use in this example two libraries, the statistics library and the random library. For now, you don't need to know what either of them do. I want you to just focus on the import statement and the effect of how it's used. So the very basic import statement is import Python keyword, random, which is the name of the library, and I'll run it, and the statement executes. It doesn't do anything. The random number library has a lot of built-in functions in it, and we can see what they are just by doing a directory, a dir command on that. And so we got all this stuff. Don't worry about it. I'm going to use a thing called randint just to generate some random numbers. So ignore that. So here's how it goes. If I want to say generate a random number, a random integer, I can do library name dot notation function within the library, randint for randint. And with this particular one, I've got to give it an inclusive range. So it will generate for me one random number greater than or equal to 70 and less than or equal to 100, like this, 98. And I do it again, I get another one, and so forth. And I do it again, I get still another one. So I'm going to generate a list of 100 random numbers. I'm going to call it scores. I'm going to make a list. And I'm going to ask for scores between 70 and 100. We're going to assume that they are test scores from students that have taken an exam. So this, again, this is pretty terse syntax, but it generates a list. Scores. Oops, shift enter, and there's the list of scores. And in fact, the list of scores has got 100 elements in it. Now, if I want to do some statistics on that, you saw up top, I imported random, and that's the basic form of an import statement. I'm going to now import TISTICS, but I'm going to be lazy. I don't want to type statistics every time I want to access a function in that library. So I'm going to call it stats. And again, you don't see anything. But I mean, it executes without generating any output. And we can see, again, we've got within the statistic library, there's a whole bunch of functions here. I'm going to use just one in my example, which is the variance. You really don't need to know much about it, but let me just tell you that conceptually, variance takes a list of numbers and tells you how spread out they are. So for example, if I had a list of numbers between say 40 and 60, and they had an average value of 50, they would all be spread quite close to the average. They wouldn't vary very far from 50. If I had numbers that ranged from 0 to 100 at random, a list of them, and the average was 50, they'd be much more spread out. So I can find out about that by stats. Again, the dot notation says within that import, I want to execute the variance function, and I'm going to pass it scores as a list of numbers to work on. And it says that the variance is 91.46. That tells me that the scores are pretty randomly set out. So again, the important thing here is to execute one of the functions that comes within the statistics package. I imported it and I said, but I don't want to refer to it as statistics. I want a shorter name because I'm a lazy typist. So I go stats, and then the period, the dot notation says within this file, I want the variance function, and I'm going to pass it scores. In much the same way that when I imported random up here, I didn't rename it. So when I wanted to execute a function within random, like random integer, randint, I had to call it using the whole name. So what we've seen so far is two forms of import statement. Just import statistics, which just imports the library but doesn't change its name. I can give it a shorter name by using the as keyword and call it stats. I could even shorten it to S. But I'm going to keep it at stats because I don't mind typing 5 characters, and that gives me my code a little bit more readability. But let's say I knew that I was only going to use the variance function. I didn't want to import all these other dozens of functions. So here's the third form of an import statement. From Python keyword, from statistics, the library, and here's the import now. This form says I only want to import the variance function from this library. And so when I do that, I no longer have to type stats.variance. I can just type variance. I still get the same number, right? But I've shortened what I had to type, and that's okay for situations where you've got a huge library and you're concerned about the size of your code. I think you're better off doing something like this. But there is one more I want to show you, and that is not only can we rename the entire library when we import it. That's the from import statistics as stats. Let's say I just want the variance, and I don't want to type variance. I'm too lazy. I can shorten it. So from statistics import variance as var. This last form does it's not the last form. Does a couple of things. It only imports the variance function from the statistics library, and it renames it var. So now I can go, and instead of doing variance.statistics, I can go var.statistics, and when I run that cell, I get the same number. It still works. So so those are the four of the 5 forms of import statements. I'm not even going to show you the last one because I think it's dangerous. And of them, I would suggest that you use the one in this cell where you import a library and you give it a meaningful name, but that's a little shorter. Just for example, there is a library for plotting data from matplotlib import pyplot as plt. This is pretty standard for if you're doing any plotting, to just import the pyplot functions and to give it a name plot. So now I can do plt dot, and my function will actually do something. See what that it generated actually an empty plot because I didn't give it any data to plot, but that's an example from another library. You're going to see this because, for example, all of the race car code is will be in a library which you need to import, so you don't have to generate it all from scratch. And so we'll be using that when we actually do the race car stuff. But other libraries like the math library, the statistics library, the plotting library, there are dozens and dozens of libraries like this that are out there for your use. So I'm going to stop this right now, and that'll be the end of Python imports.